Yo, what's up everyone? My name is LightningQuiz7 and today we're going to be talking about Slingshot and how it can be applied with Cloud. Slingshot is exciting because one, it brings something new and fresh to Ultimate, and two, it just further advances the meta and has everyone kind of discuss, figuring out new things, discussing movement and all this stuff. And right now I'm going to be talking about it with Cloud and how it can be used, how to implement it, stuff like that. So I think Slingshot is pretty good with Cloud because one, it makes his pressure better, it makes his movement better, it makes his positioning better. Yeah, that's actually pretty much like most of it. It makes so for example, Fair normally is like it's not like super unsafe, but if you misspace it, let's say, sometimes you can get shield grabbed if you try to dash away, right? But then if you slingshot with it, you can actually avoid getting grabbed by some characters because of how you because of how Cloud kind of gets that little boost backwards and changes his hurt box, shifts his hurt box and such. So that's like pretty strong, and he also just has a good slingshot like in general, since he just moves really fast, like he has good airspeed, good initial dash, all that stuff. So it's pretty good for pressure. I find that the flick shot is just like the best for what I was saying. Like if I wanted to avoid getting shield grabbed, then I think that one's probably the best. But hold shots also, like hold shot and full shot are more so for like resetting the pressure. Um, so they're more like offensive, aggressive options for like trying to reestablish the pressure and try to keep the opponent cornered and such, right? Which is good when you're ledge trapping and when you're corner pressuring. But then like flick shots, like oh shoot, I might get punished, so I'm gonna flick shot away and then bam, kind of like avoid the situation, kind of reset, which is nice. There's some other things like Claw doesn't really get combos. Sadly, I don't have the footage for this because I lost a trading mod pack and didn't record this, but it's very niche. I was gonna say it's very niche, but I was able to get down throw slingshot nair on Peach, though it was like specific DI and such, but like oh, and frame 3 air dodge, by the way, it wasn't like true on the combo counter, but kind of interesting that that exists. It's very niche. It's also kind of hard, but we have another throw combo, kinda. It's not like super true, but like back throw down tilt is like kind of similar, where it's like, oh, it is true, but if you like literally just hold away, I think, then it just won't work. But it's a good DI mix-up where like sometimes if your opponent isn't ready, you can hit him with it. There's a mix-up I really like with Cloud when you're at that long range and you're kind of trying to close the gap some. You do a flick shot into B reverse blade beam. I kind of like that because it kind of like mixes up your momentum and also kind of puts out because the blade beam covers high and low. Like not like it's not like you can catch all the full hops and all the small things, but it like covers like a lot of options. It kind of forces your opponent to think and kind of slow down some, and I think that's kind of nice. You can also this is something that's already been known about actually, but you can also like flick shot and then you charge limit. It's like very niche, I guess you can kind of position with it, and you can also sometimes limit boost with it. Again, kind of niche, but it's good to know that it exists. On the topic of limit, it kind of is interesting how the different slingshot variations work. Like, I think the flick shot kind of gets worse, but then the hold shot and the full shot get better because the full shot and the hold shot, since they're made for pressure and Cloud falls faster, it works better. But then since for flick shot it's the escape, even though his airspeed's faster, he falls faster. So I mean, it's still good. It's still a good flick shot, but it's kind of interesting. So to see how that kind of works and such. But still solid with limit. It just kind of changes like a little bit, just like how you treat it and such. But yeah, it's still solid. So there's other things that saying, like, it's more so applicable to other characters than it is to Cloud, but it's still kind of worth exploring. Like, I've seen some of the stuff where, for example, like Toon Link, for example, has a really good wave dash when he slingshots. Like, it's kind of really big. And then there's like other things where like what Jigglypuff does, like a slingshot air dodge, it goes super far. I've like kind of tested those things with Cloud, and it's like, so it's decent. It's worth like, I'm not sure if it's like gonna be super applicable or like, you know, super, like, it's not one of those things where I think you need to learn it. Like, I think like the more important things to learn are like how to like continue the pressure or reset the pressure, or you know, avoid, like, oh, like for example, this is one I thought of, on ledge sometimes if you back air, right, people try to time their gip attacks with it, but if you dash back, you know, Cloud's legs will get hit. But if you slingshot, he can actually jump and avoid it. And not only that, but he can also be in a position to cover roll and to cover neutral gip and the gip attack. So it's just like better positioning. But back to what I was saying, I'm not like super sure if those are gonna be useful, but it is worth looking into. I will say, I think Slingshot is gonna be a little weird to implement at first. It's one of those things where Cloud already jumps quite a bit, like in general. Like, obviously he has some good ground moves, but his ground game isn't the best. But people are used to anti-airing him, so like people sometimes will just hit the slingshot, right? So it's gonna take some time because it's gonna feel a little weird. Like, so you're gonna have to kind of condition people first and then do slingshot stuff sometimes. Like, let's say I'm gonna condition you to not jump, so I'm gonna cross slash, and then I like cross slash some, and then you can slingshot. So it's like, there are some things where it's like, oh, okay. Like, for example, after hitting a cross slash or an up B, you can buffer slingshot and then kind of try to continue the pressure. You know, that's more of a like a mid percent thing, because the lower percent you can get hit for trying to do that. But you know, like, but like when it comes to advantage state, it's consistent. But when it comes to neutral, or when you're pressuring someone, I guess that's also advantage state. But you know, you get my point. When you're pressuring someone on shield or in the corner, it's like, it's a little different. But oh, I also like it for tech chasing. I like, a really like slingshot nair, because that covers like tech in place. And then if you miss, then you can just if they tech in or tech out, you can just kind of dash attack and cover all the options. So that's really nice. I like that. Oh, something I forgot to mention is that I have this kind of idea for like so bear chains are or bear trains, whatever. They've kind of been a thing before, but they're a little like, if you DI out, the most you can get hit by is 2, right? But I was thinking it could potentially make them better, or at least make it more consistent or easier to get other follow-ups. Like, for example, maybe you could do, when you get the train started, you could do the back air, but then after the back air's done, you buffer this another slingshot back air, and then maybe you do it again, or maybe you go to dash attack or cross slash or down till, you know, some kind of burst option to, you know, continue the combo. I haven't like been able to test it. I'm not super sure about this. It's just kind of an idea. Anyways, to summarize, basically overall it's good. Like, good pressure, good positioning, good movement, right? Those are like the main like takeaways. There's some potential ideas for combos. We'll just have to see. Oh, it's also good for tech chasing too. And there are some like kind of niche things, but it kind of needs some more development before we find anything crazy, if there is anything crazy. But overall, I do think you should learn it. I do think it's important. And yeah, anyways, if there's anything that I missed, please let me know down in the comments. And while you're at it, check out my Discord server. Link is in the description below. Subscribe, like, and comment. You know the drill. I'll see you guys in the next video.